You see it right there? Do you see it?
Oh, it moved.
Oh.
It moved.
What was it?
Well, in our studio, it was a pretend bird.
I think it was a leaf.
Hannah is out in nature, potentially seeing the real thing.
Yeah, there she is with her binoculars and the microphone, which is a very important part of the birding culture. The idea is it's part to check them off your list, I think, but it's also the process, it's the togetherness. There's so much more to birding than those of us who don't do it probably understand, right, Hannah?
Yeah, tell us about it.
It is. It's a lot more than just spotting a bird. A lot of these people have bird lists that they kind of want to cross off or build upon throughout their lives. Laura, that's what you said a lot of people do in the birding community.
Yeah, there's 10,000 species in the world. There's, I think, over 400 in New York alone. So a lot of people will put a little check mark next to every species that they see. And so their goal is to build the biggest life list that they can.
And so far this morning, we've seen a few. You said the cooler temperature sometimes depends on what kinds of birds you'll see. But we've seen some during the commercial break. What have we seen so far?
Yeah, we've seen red-winged blackbirds out here. We saw.
There's one right up there as well. We could possibly see it across our way.
That is a robin, American robin.
Wow. Yeah. Again, that's a good sign of spring. Maybe it'll show up eventually.
Right. Yeah, the cold weather has depressed activity a little bit this morning. Things are going to be warming up today, and I'm sure the bird activity will as well. We've seen a group of 5 great blue herons go overhead.
Yes.
I heard there was widgeon and gadwall ducks over there. We saw wood duck, a group of 4 wood ducks going overhead. And
you hear a lot. We hear a lot. That's a good sign.
Right.
Now talk about the birding culture. A lot of people say, what is birding? I mean, are they just these people who go out and get binoculars and, look up in the sky? But it's so much more than that to you.
It is. So we love nature in general. We want to see it preserved. We kind of live according to a sustainability ethic. And so bird watching is a way for us to connect with nature on a daily basis and make it part of our lives. And bird watching helps us keep pulse on environmental health. Birds are considered a canary in the coal mine. In other words, if you monitor bird populations, if you're aware of what's going on a large-scale basis across the state, across the nation, the world, you can have a better idea about what environmental issues are impacting bird populations, and that tells you a big story. So right now people are monitoring bird populations. They're seeing changes according to climate change. So there's a lot of stuff out there that we monitor.
And you've traveled all over, far and wide, and guys, I don't want to startle any birds, but I saw a couple fly right over to the trees next to us. Kimberly, right here, you have a really cool contraption. What do you call this? Because it's not a camera, but it's a special birding device, I guess, right?
It's a spotting scope, and it's basically like a telescope for looking at birds, and I can zoom in and get a good clear picture. And I can put a camera attachment over it as well and get some good pictures too.
And you were really funny. When I first got here, you were talking about Japan, and I said, what are you talking about? And you said, well, I'm going to go to Japan until I find the bird I'm looking for. You guys travel far and wide to find different types of birds.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Well, there's different birds in different areas. You know, I have my great crested kingfisher that I will find the next time I go back to Japan. So, and I keep trying. Yeah, that's the key. I tend to be a little bit stubborn about things, so I really want to see this bird. It's an amazing bird.
And there are lots of different birds that are well known around our area. You know, Laura was talking about certain owls that you could find in the winter. So coming up in our next segment, we'll talk about some Rochester birds that you could see if you actually go out birding, and the best times to go birding as well, because you did say there's a specific time of day that is best to find lots of birds and see them really clearly as well.
Right.
So we'll be back in just a little bit. We've got our eyes in the sky all morning long, and actually right behind us.
Oh,
that is a geese.
Those are geese. Goose! Goose!
It's a goose.
Goose!
Flying heading to
That's a goose.
Canada, you think?
What kind of goose?
Flying to Canada?
Remember, it's a Canada goose, not a Canadian goose.
It's really nice. A really nice goose.
Yeah, way to go, Hannah. I tried.
It's a really nice goose.
I tried birding once, and it took me 6 years. I still haven't seen a robin.
No?
I don't know. I just wasn't very good at it. I don't know why.
That bird went to his friends. Hey, watch this.
Yeah, watch this. I'm going to get on TV.